What's up, everybody? We are going to run through a few charts real quick. Let me make sure my audio is on. Yeah, everything looks okay. We're going to run through real quick. We're not going to do too much here. First of all, let me just clarify. I feel pretty darn confident that our bottom is in here. We're not going lower than this for the time being without at least a significant retrace. Let's say that we just come down here and then come back up. Maybe then we fall. But I highly doubt that we fall without testing this level right around 54,000-ish. Potentially a little higher even. But mostly I expect to break the top. We still have people asking for a dip to buy after we've fallen 23%. And I just don't believe the market's going to be that friendly to you and give you that dip that you want. So the overall idea here is that this is a correction that is uncorrelated to anything in here so far. I think we continue this move upward before having something of that degree again. But the question becomes the lower time frames, and if we zoom in a little bit, you can take a look at what I'm watching. First of all, we have this demand right in here, which has been tested a couple times, and we got a great reaction last night, overnight for me, right from that level. And you can see this previously acted as a resistance as well, even wicked to it as support, resistance here before we recovered it, and then tested as support a couple times. So my suspicion is that we are bottomed here. I don't think we even take out this low. Could we take out the low? Yeah, possibly. Potentially come down like this and maybe sweep this level right here. I don't understand why they changed the drawing options here. It's kind of annoying, actually. Dagnammit. Clicking things I don't mean to. So is it possible we sweep this level and then reverse? Yeah, it is. But I don't believe for even a second that we are coming down to take out these lows right now. I think we're going up pretty significantly before we're able to do that. We can go down to like the 15 minute and scope this out a little bit further. So this was interesting and really should have been pretty easy to foretell, but I really didn't catch it. I know I went to sleep somewhere in here. But this drop down was actually kind of obvious based on the lower highs here as we ran into a resistance right in here. You can see we closed just over that, so that's really our resistance area. And we made these lower highs that should have made a drop kind of obvious, and I didn't quite nail it as much as I should have. But overall, I think we might be making something like this. Let's go ahead and call this the structure right here. Maybe I'll get used to this, but so far I don't like it. And on the mobile, the trash can doesn't show up, so you got to do other stuff to remove a drawing, so it's a little annoying. So I have this option where we could be putting in some kind of ABC. Maybe it starts there, ABC, and we come down a little lower. If we do test this level again, it's already been tested a couple times, so I don't love that. We could come down lower and make that sweep that we already talked about. But it's also very possible that we're just done here and we're heading up for another move. And our entire ABC is completed here. As I'm watching the chart right now on the 15 minute, this looks like it could come down and take the lows. So I'm not opposed to that, but I also don't think that you should be completely committed to, hey, we're going to come down and sweep these lows. If we get any kind of momentum to the upside here, you should see the 15 minute flip back to positive like it did in these areas. And that would be our first, second, third flip positive since this high over here. We flipped it positive here. This was our first move up, and we've got a sideways move after that. Often the third flip during a sideways move is the one that breaks to the upside. So if we flip positive right in here, then we would expect continued upside. It's unlikely, but it is possible that we flip positive and then just get rejected again. I don't really foresee that, but when you are ranging like this, MACD is not really the best indicator. So you didn't want to be buying specifically on these flips here because we were in a ranging environment. Now we know, hey, we've already had a couple of flips, so the next one probably isn't a false flip. Could it be? Yes. Is it likely? Not as likely as continuation to the upside. So that's kind of what I'm watching before I really get into any longs on Bitcoin. I will be looking for either a sweep of this level down here. I probably will not buy this level at all, this the 1 hour demand that I've already mentioned. But if we sweep the low, then I would definitely be interested in buying. And if you want to be an Elliott waiver, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from one potential move down. But I don't expect it to be very deep, and I do think it is a buying opportunity. And if we come down, we're still looking for that blue flip. We're looking for the same blue flip and the same long out of that blue flip. You can also watch significant levels. Our impulse ended here. Our first move up. You don't have to call it an impulse if you don't want to, but it ended there. So if we were to get over to this level, that would also be bullish as well. Do we have to roll over here? No, we don't. But it is possible that we roll over after we impulse upward, and we have a 4-hour supply zone right in there. So that's a 4-hour level I'm watching for resistance. Even up here. And of course we have the all-time high. Primarily my expectation is to break that all-time high, but I do think that we continue to chop. Potentially even come up and come back down before we have a large enough base here to give us the upside that we really want. So let's look at a couple other coins that I'm watching. YFII actually looks pretty good right now. Sol, you know, I'm highly bullish on Sol. It's had some downside. I don't have MACD on here. Let me pull up my MACD momentum. So you can see 4-hour is not at risk of flipping red in any way, shape, or form. This was a nice strong move up. So we wouldn't expect the 4-hour to flip red. If it does, that's not a good sign. 1 hour has already flipped red. So a flip back positive on 1 hour would be a really strong sign of trend continuation to the upside. 15-minute is red as well. And this looks like it is going to fall one more time to me. Doesn't necessarily have to, but overall, it looks like the momentum right now is to the downside. We've started to make some divergences, but we're not really seeing any strength just yet. So most likely, in my opinion, is that we do come down one more time and then come back up. So we'd be watching for a recovery over this low. Do we have any supports in here? Yeah, there's some 4-hour demand right in there. Kind of funky looking. I don't love it. 1 hour, you can kind of see the same thing. Really, we have an 8-hour level right here. That's pretty wide. It's a little wider than what I really like to use for much of anything. Talking about an 8% top to bottom range. But I wouldn't expect to fall through the bottom side of that. Most likely we would find support somewhere near the middle if we do come down this low. It's not my suspicion. I don't really expect us to come down that low. But if we do, then we would probably find support around the middle of that level. Maybe even closer to the top. We could find support right around here. So after a big move on Sol, you know, another 7% would be possible. That would be 22% off the highs. So not out of line with what the Bitcoin correction was in any way. If we get a 15-minute flip back positive, then we're looking for upside. 15-minute and 1 hour here. FLM is one that I think is going to move pretty well. So this flat didn't play out, and I've already recharted this, but I must have done it on a different chart layout. That flat didn't play out. We want to get back into this range here to really show strength. On the 1 hour, it looks pretty clear that we could make some kind of A, B, C here before we get upside. Again, I highly doubt that we take out this level. So the closer we get to this level, the better an entry you could get as far as risk to reward, with your invalidation being right below that level. Now if 1 hour flips red, which it looks like it will, it's actually not the best sign. I would be pretty cautious on knife catching this one, because if the 1 hour does flip red, then that would potentially be a bearish continuation signal, because we do already have a red flip here. That would be the second red flip, and it could take out the low if that's the case. And currently it looks very possible that it could, so I would be careful on this one. I'd be careful. If we get a red flip here, that might actually be a bad sign for the rest of the market. Maybe I'm reading things wrong. But that's not my first concern. My first thought is that we simply take out this level in reverse. Or on lower time frames. There could be an argument that we have a flat going in right here. And we may not be far from the bottom at all. So both options are something to watch. But again, if that 1 hour turns red, then I would wait for entries until you get at least a 15-minute flip back positive. I wouldn't be buying this sweep unless we recover, see the 15-minute flip positive, and then look for a move to the upside. So be patient with it. We can also get a lot of chop around here, around these lows. We can get a lot of chop on all the charts. So try not to overtrade in here. I've already been doing some buy the lows and take half off where I can, but too much chop and you're just going to water down your entry. If we keep doing too much of that, then we're going to try to add here, and we're going to try to add here, and we're going to try to add here. And eventually our average entry is no longer what it was when we bought back here. So try not to do too much of that. If you're going to do it, try to do it intelligently. But honestly, that's kind of hard when the market stops chopping around like this. So my recommendation would be to be pretty patient as much as you can. Let's go glance real quick back at the Bitcoin chart. And this is the perp chart here. Yeah, so it looks to be coming down a little bit. So watch for the flat. Watch for the flat. Watch for the sweep of this level. 1 hour is red right now. So I would be pretty careful with this. I don't love that. We'll probably sweep this level, guys. We will probably sweep that level. And just be careful because we do have the red flip back here. We want to see proof of strength. Although I'm pretty confident the low is here, I don't love this red flip. I don't love it at all. And because of this, I want to be wary that what if I'm wrong here? Let's wait for strength before you really get deep into too many positions. Let's cover Serum real quick. Serum, I really only trade spot. Came up pretty nicely last night. Potential flat right here. But this is not really conducive to a flat. So usually we expect the C wave to move faster than what the A wave does. Let me redraw that real quick. The A wave was pretty quick, whereas the C wave, so it may not be a flat at all, or we could do something like that. We don't want to see the 4-hour flip red here. That would not be a strong sign. 1 hour is still positive, but it should close red probably within the next 3 hours. So actually I started this video suggesting that I think we have some upside from here, but signs as I'm recording the video here is that 15-minute and 1 hour are both showing red momentum, and that's very possible that we continue down to lower levels. Again, I don't think we're taking out the lows. Serum, I'm not sure exactly where that low was, but if we go over to Ethereum, I am not suggesting that we're going to take out this low here. I really don't think we do. But be patient. There's no reason to rush into anything. This could very well be an A, B, C. You can see we've bounced from this level before, right in here. It's another potential area for a bounce this time. One of the main reasons that I kind of felt like the bottom was in here is that we've had this formation a lot where we have a correction down and then some kind of accumulation pattern that ends up turning into upside momentum. So this is something I would watch for sure. If we come up and make a smaller correction here, then we're looking to buy these lows for this upside move on the right. Alright guys, I think that's the main ones I wanted to cover. We talked about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link. Let's cover Link real quick. Sol, I've already covered a little bit. Yeah, Link looks like it's going to be coming down as well, to be honest. So what do we want to see here? Link got rejected here, came down, impulsed back up. I want to see Link recover this level right here. It could very well sweep this one here. And we've got a little bit of flat in the middle here. Giving us an A, B, and we should be in the C wave now. The other option is that this is a 1-2 and we've started a new impulse. And this is just going to be a large 3 to the downside. And that would suggest we're taking out the low here. So again, that's not my primary. I don't believe that's happening. I believe we're putting in some type of AB base. Does it come down here? Maybe. We've seen AB bases come down this low all the way to the lows. It is possible that we do something like that where we see lower prices than right here. But from my system, a base behind this kind of move here is very common. It wouldn't be unusual at all. And it would give us the strength to move up out of it. So we're looking to buy those dips if they come. You don't have to buy the levels. You can simply wait for the higher low to form. And then you're buying continuation patterns on the way out of the dip. And that's all we're looking for here. We're looking to buy continuation patterns on the way out of the dip. So here's our dip. We want to see some continuation patterns form here. Even if it's just an ABC, if this is A, B, C, then we want to see recover this range and form some kind of continuation pattern that gives us a buy signal. Alright guys, for real, that's everything I got this time. We'll see you in the next video.